Hi, my name is Zeno. You mostly know me as Mono. My channel name used to be different. It used to be called Zeno the Glitch. I changed it because I was getting doxxed. By who, you might ask? By my classmates and people I thought were my friends. For my entire life, I have been bullied relentlessly. Because I am different. I struggle with a multitude of things. Childhood trauma, PTSD, autism and ADHD, for example. Excuse me, sorry. I get emotional very easily, and I tend to over-exaggerate my words. But for this video, I will not be exaggerating any story I will tell. I may cry a few times, as I am now, because I've never done something like this before. I've never talked about my experiences. But today I'm going to. It started in first grade when I moved to a different school. My mother has never believed that I'm autistic. However, there have been signs. My brother has been seeing these signs in me since I was 7 years old. I entered first grade at 6. Even I knew there was something different about me. For my whole life, I've struggled with math and my learning capabilities. People thought I was a gifted child. I was not. I have been put into gifted classes my whole life when I should not have been. I should have been getting the help I needed. I should have had an IEP. I've never had an IEP because of my mother. My father was never in my life, and that has messed me up quite a bit. Now, the first incident of bullying I can remember is on my first day. I tried introducing myself to my class, and they laughed at me. I looked weird to them. I didn't have glasses yet. I was just a normal kid with blonde hair and blue eyes. But it was the shirt that I was wearing. I don't remember what shirt it was, but I know it was the shirt I was wearing because it was it had media on it that I was hyper fixated on. I didn't know at the time what a hyperfixation was. I didn't know anything. But from that moment on, my fate was sealed. I was forever the weird kid. When I switched classes, halfway through the first year, I moved next door to another teacher. I made a few friends. One or two that I'm still talking to this day. But the rest of the class never liked me. The teachers liked me because I was friendly. The students did not. When we did math, I struggled, and the others would make fun of me for it. I did not know how to do Common Core math. It is not the way I was taught, and it will forever not be the way I do math. Common Core math is, and always will be, troubling to me. It was not troubling to them, and they did not care. They made fun of me because I didn't understand what they understood. In second grade, I met a girl, and I thought she was my friend. I allowed her to torment me until 7th grade. You will be hearing more stories about her. But in 2nd grade, she spread rumors about me. She lied about me. She even threw up in my hair. Rumors were spread that I liked animals. Rumors were spread that I was things that I was not. This is another first grade story. There was an incident in first grade where a male teacher entered the bathroom to check on me. There's nothing wrong with that. But another student in that bathroom, somebody in a higher grade than me, did not like me. I don't know why, but she didn't. What she did was she framed me for peeking under the toilet stalls. When I got home that day, my entire room had been gutted. My mattress was on the floor. My windows were taped, so I could not see outside. Everything I owned was locked in my closet, and all of my clothes were replaced with gray. All I had to wear was a gray t-shirt, gray shorts, and gray undergarments. The only thing I had left in my possession was one stuffed animal that I held dear to me. One stuffed animal that I held dear to me. A block of styrofoam, and my markers. For a year and a half, that's all I had to my name. Because my mother believed a teacher and a young student, who I did not know, over me. I was a prisoner in my own home. Nobody believed me when I told them I was not peeking under the toilet stalls. I was just trying to pick up a piece of toilet paper that I had dropped. In second grade, the girl I was talking about, who spread the rumors and lies about me, threw up in my hair. She claimed it was an accident, but everyone knows that it wasn't. In third grade, people pretended to be my friend. As I was saying, in third grade, people pretended to be my friend, to learn things about me that they thought were weird. I told people about Five Nights at Freddy's because I thought it was cool. They made fun of me for it. They told the teacher that it was explicit media, and I got in trouble. I got in trouble with the teacher, and I got in trouble with my mother again. My childhood has been so riddled with bullying. My childhood was so riddled with bullying that I have forgotten myself because I dissociated so much. I dissociated to the point of me forgetting myself. I don't know my personality. I don't know anything about myself. I only remember the parts of my childhood that were traumatic to me. I only remember the parts of my childhood that hurt me. In fourth grade, I attended a martial arts class. A few of my classmates were there. They did not like me, and I did not like them. But because of my asthma, I could not run laps around the studio like we were supposed to. I struggled. And I did not make it through. I dropped out, and I never returned. My weight has always set me apart from my peers as well. My weight has always been a topic between my family and my friends. friends. I've always been considered the fat kid, the weird kid. Nobody wanted to play with me at recess. Everybody thought I had cooties. In 5th grade, I was forced by that girl to kiss a boy I did not like. And he was forced to kiss me. He did not like me either. We are still friends. And together, he and I still dislike that girl. 6th grade was uneventful, for the most part. But I'm going to talk about something a little disturbing. I think at some point during my 6th grade year, I did online schooling because of COVID. I had become interested in marine life, specifically the deep ocean, but I was grounded and I had to look things up in secret. My brother came over one day and I tried to show him a picture of a fish I thought was cool, the black dragonfish. I pulled up an image on Google Images and my mother screamed at me. She said, "You're not supposed to be on the internet." And when I tried to tell her that it was just Google Images, she slapped me in front of my brother, in front of his significant other, and in front of her boyfriend. My brother and his significant other tried to stick up for me. Her boyfriend did not. I ran upstairs that day, and I did not speak to her for the rest of the week. Besides what was necessary, at least. She had me on medications that I did not need, which were detrimental to my health. Mental health, not physical health. She had me on clonidine, and she had me on Prozac. Neither of them helped my condition, and in fact they only made my depression and my anxiety worse. In 7th grade is when the really, really bad bullying started. I was openly weird. I talked about the things that I liked with the people I thought were my friends. I was open about my identity and what I identified as. That was my first mistake. People made fun of me. People did not respect me. Pictures of me were posted online without my consent and without my knowing, on a platform that I did not have access to. Pictures of me were posted on Instagram on the school story page. And unbeknownst to me, there was pictures of me sleeping and me on my Chromebook. I did not know who took the pictures, I do not know who posted them, but they were posted regardless. Nothing was done. A few days before winter break, a boy had taunted me so much that I had snapped at him and threatened him with a pencil. He exaggerated the story to make it sound like I was threatening him with a knife. Regardless, I did threaten him, and I did threaten harm upon him, and that is not acceptable. But what is also not acceptable is framing me for attempting to harm him with a knife and getting the police involved. This was right after the Oxford shooting, I believe. Police were all over the school, and I was terrified that I was going to be expelled and my life was going to be ruined. I have never had good control over my temper or my emotions. Even making this video is hard for me. My whole life, I have struggled with my emotions, and I don't think I'll ever get a proper grasp on them. But what will never be okay is taking advantage of that. Taking advantage of somebody's vulnerability. I cried a lot in class. I got angry a lot. Not once did anybody ask me if I was okay. Not once did anybody ask me what was wrong. And not once did any of the teachers question what was going on. If anything was deeper than that. In 8th grade, I moved to a different school where I faced nothing but transphobia and ableism. In 9th grade, I moved back to my hometown. In 9th grade, I moved back to my hometown and went to our big school. The bullying I faced at that school will forever have changed me as a person. The bullying I faced at that school made me feel extremely suicidal. And not only that, but it did make me start self-harming. I have scars on my hands and my arms from where I scratched. I scratched and I scratched and I never stopped. The scars are long faded by now, but that doesn't matter because it still happened when it shouldn't have. I'm sorry, thinking about this really hurts. My whole life, I was never treated as a person. I was just treated as a commodity. I was treated as something to laugh at, like a clown. Kids I knew from elementary went to that school and went to those classes with me, and they made my life a living hell. I couldn't tell my mom. I couldn't tell anybody but the people I knew online, because I knew that they couldn't make fun of me for it, because I knew I could trust them, and I knew I couldn't trust anyone I knew in person. My mother would always tell me to suck it up. My grandmother always told me shit happens. And I couldn't tell them about the transphobia I faced because I'm not out to them. Because I'm scared to come out. Because I know that they wouldn't accept me. I know that they would not see me as a person. I struggle to regulate my emotions. And my psyche has been damaged permanently. I don't know how developed my brain is, but I don't think it's properly developed for somebody my age. I cannot function without somebody to take care of me. I tried working a job, and all it ended up with was harm. I'm afraid to even return to that location in the fear somebody might recognize me. I don't want that to happen, because if somebody recognizes me, then I'm going to fear. I'm going to fear that they had been talking about me. I'm going to fear that they had been thinking bad things about me. Because all of my life, I was never exposed to anything positive. The only positive interactions I ever had was with the people I actually trusted and my online friends. It's sad, isn't it? Sad that I trust strangers online more than I trust my own friends and family. But it's because of the way I had my childhood. It was the way I was raised. I was told from a very young age, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about. I had no sympathy from my mother. I had no sympathy from my father. I had some sympathy from my grandmother, and I love her. I love her very much. I've faced many things in my life. Religious indoctrination, childhood trauma, sexual assault, and many other things. But I think one of the foremost problems in my life is myself, and the things of myself that I need to overcome, like my fear of loneliness, and my fear of telling people about my problems. Because if I continue to pretend things are okay, I'm just going to end up hurt in the long run. There are so many things that I cannot tell you because I cannot remember them because of my dissociation. For years, my eyes have been glazed over and dead looking. That's how people have described them to me. Even when I'm happy, my smile never reaches my eyes. Unless I'm talking to somebody I trust. Because I feel like I can't trust people I know with my emotions until they've showed me theirs. Because if I know how somebody feels about me, then I know whether I can trust them or not. When people don't tell me how they feel about me, it scares me. Because it makes me think, oh, they don't like me. They're going to use me, and they're going to talk bad about me. Is this paranoia? Perhaps. I'm afraid of living alone, and I cannot take care of myself. I need to be reminded to eat. I need to be reminded to shower. I need to be reminded to brush my teeth. I cannot be trusted to be an adult. I cannot be trusted to hold down a job, and I cannot be trusted to live alone. I need a caretaker. And nobody that I know at the moment is willing to accept that fact. Nobody I know at the moment in my personal life, outside of my friends that I know online, are willing to accept the fact that I need help. My mother and my grandmother, I love them very much, but I don't know how much longer I can live with this. I have so much I need. I have so much help. I need so much help, but I can't get any of it because nobody thinks that I need it. Because everybody thinks I can function like a person when I cannot. I have not told one lie in this video, and as you can see and hear in my voice, I am hurting. Behind the camera, I am a different person. Behind the camera, behind the videos that I've uploaded of myself, I have faced relentless harassment my entire life, but I've tried to not let that affect my online persona. But I've finally had enough, and I need people out there to know the truth. My truth. Because if I continue to ignore my own truth, I'm going to forget it, like I've forgotten parts of myself. I guarantee that my brain is not fully developed for somebody my age. Trauma can make a person's brain stop developing or slow its developing, especially childhood trauma, which I have much of. Now, this has been a serious video. This is a serious topic. Please keep things respectful in the comments. And if you have any questions to ask me, ask away. If you would like to talk in private, I will post my Discord and we can talk. I'm going to end this video here because I don't think I can bear talking about this much longer without having a breakdown. I would like to go back to my dissociation, and I would like to go back to pretending to be happy. Because facing my emotions is terrifying. Because telling people about how I feel and how I've felt my entire life is scary, because I don't know what they'll see me. I don't know how they'll see me afterwards. I don't want to be perceived as helpless, and I don't want to be perceived as weaponizing my incompetence. I am not weaponizing my incompetence. I accept full responsibility for myself. But what I need is a caretaker. Because I cannot be trusted to take care of myself. Because if I try to take care of myself, I forget. I forget to shower. I forget to eat. I forget to brush my teeth. Nothing of what you've seen or heard today has been fabricated. I've had no script. I am going off of my own memory. And this video will be uploaded in the raw with no editing. I'm going to end this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are, whoever you are. And if you remember me from the old days of this channel, I love you. Thank you for sticking around through all of my problems and through all of my successes. Good night.